Government has been challenged to ramp up response measures to the ongoing floods and the growing humanitarian crisis that is unfolding. Leaders from areas hardest hit by the floods say that the national government hasn't allocated and released funds to enable them assist thousands of people in need of help. This comes as the Ministry of Interior announced that the government's plan to respond is well underway, with multi-sectoral players engaged to address the negative impact of the rains. Brenda Wanga has more.
Frantic efforts to get much-needed aid in terms of food and non-food items to those adversely affected by the ongoing heavy rains and flooding in the country's north are ongoing. This consignment of aid moving by air from the capital Nairobi to Wajir, where it is most needed, is just a small fraction of what is required for a region reeling from the worst impact of the rains yet. These efforts now remain the responsibility of the county government, and they even say they are now getting overwhelmed by the magnitude of the humanitarian crisis and the meager resources available to respond to the same.
The scope, the quantum of the disaster is so big that whatever they do is appreciated, but hardly can they be visible. So we need much more. But Dr. Idris did his best of Kenya Red Cross.
Aside from the need to get the food and non-food items to the residents of the northern and coastal parts ravaged by the floods, leaders from the region also decry inaction from the national government in restoring crucial road infrastructure that are key in getting the aid to those affected.
We need an urgent spot fixing of the main road so that the supplies to the region do not continue to be cut off. If the major roads are not passable, we will quadruple the emergency situation, because there will even be nothing to lift from the headquarters to the affected settlements.
So as we speak right now, the efforts from the national government is not clear, is not well focused. We want them to come out properly and assist the residents of our counties. That is the only thing right now we're asking for. Otherwise, as it is right now, what is being coordinated and what we have been told is being coordinated, we are not seeing it at all.
The county government, through the Council of Governors, had, even before the start of the rains, estimated that adequately responding to the El Nino rains would be a costly affair, and the committee set up to spearhead the response, chaired by the Deputy President, had agreed.
Out of the 23 counties that we have, we already have an estimation of about 8 billion shillings. You can imagine by the time the others come, we'll probably be at 15 billion shillings that will be required to fund this El Nino preparedness.
It remains unclear whether the National Treasury released the funds, but the government, through the offices of the Deputy President and the Ministry of Interior, maintain that the national government is playing its part in addressing the emerging issues brought about by the El Nino rains. The Deputy President, in a statement released on Sunday, indicated that the government had allocated funds for the repair of infrastructure destroyed by the rains. He did not say how much or when the funds will be released. The Ministry of Interior on Monday said the national government, in conjunction with the Kenya Red Cross, humanitarian organizations, the Kenya Coast Guard, the National Police Service, KDF, and the Kenya Wildlife Services were helping distribute food aid and rescue those caught up in the floods. But leaders from the hard-hit north say the reality is far removed from the statements.
But we need the involvement of the national government, which has the capacity, so that more food. We are talking of how many settlements? The entire Wajir North is of nearly 100 centers. So you can imagine of the capacity required, and that's one constituency.
Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.